Come on in. Stay a while. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get coached up with another edition of the Coach Scott Field Show. You might be watching us on DBTV, a national and international cable network that is a first of its kind. Catch us there daily, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or you might be seeing us on CSTV, which you can catch our show on Wednesday evenings. Or you might be watching us on the Rewind Sports 60. Thank you for your viewership, as I know you have many options. Super thrilled and excited to have my guest on with us today. But don't forget, I got to get this business out of the way. Smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really appreciate the interaction because this show is all for you, to empower you, to inspire you, to give you the knowledge that you need to take your career to the next level. And no better person to do that with us today than my buddy, Coach Steve Hess. Coach, welcome to the show, my brother.
Yo, thank you so much for having me on the show. Excited to chop it up. And as I say, per your request, put on the planet to help people achieve greatness in all they do. So this is a little bit of an opportunity where we can sit back and be like, yo, if I was able to do certain things that are okay, oh my God, we are unlimited in what we can achieve.
Oh, I love it. So I'm just going to use your, hey, kaboom, that just happened. So Coach, tell our viewers, because I mean, I can go on and on about how high energy you are, your passion, your purpose, health and wellness, former strength and conditioning coach of the Denver Nuggets. I would watch you from afar and I would see you warming the guys up. I'd see you getting them stretched and physically prepared. And I could see the guys connect with you as they had confidence in what you were giving to them. And I watched it as I was around the Utah Jazz. I watched it as you were on the court with them when I was with the Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. And I said, that guy has got it. You were doing a fantastic job, and they were lucky to have your services for those years.
Well, look, firstly, that is an unbelievable compliment.
Oh, you froze up on us, Coach. Oh, no. Oh, no. Our feed froze up, ladies and gentlemen. This is live TV, and this is what happens. Hopefully, it'll come back on for us. Yeah, as he buffers and tries to get back online with us. Here it comes. Here he comes. Technical difficulties. This is live TV. There he is.
It's better, Coach.
There you go. Yeah, I can see you now.
Okay.
Oh, got a little bit of feedback as you've got another microphone on, maybe.
We in now, Coach.
There you go, brother.
Oh yeah. God, now we're in the show. So you hyped me up that I presented this energy. The cool thing about that is that you notice that I'm so blessed, but that's authentically who I am. So the reason I'm able to do that is I'm not pretending to be anything I'm not. The individual I am, again, is not someone that knows everything or professes to have all the answers. But here's what I do know. If I give everything I have with the knowledge I have, and I'm ethical and moral, and the outcome is not for me, it's for the individuals I work with, I can't be wrong. So I look at, like, every morning I wake up and I'm like the coyote freaking roadrunner. I'm going 200 miles an hour. That's authentically who I am. Now, if you said, and it's not for everyone, I am that kaboom guy. If you said to me, Steve, chill out, we're gonna have a nice quiet session, I'd be like, hell no, not the dude. So again, and again, I feel, having spent 21 years with these unbelievable athletes, the one thing I always said about athletes, and I hope I can use this on your show, they're no bullshit.
That's
and
right.
If you're not who you say you are, they will expose you. And if you are doing it with your knowledge and with everything you have for them and for the organization, you may have a chance. So I was just, you say to me, like, They were blessed to have me. I was blessed to have that unbelievable opportunity. I'd sit up in the stands, I'd pinch myself like, how did I even get here? So I just feel, even being on your show, just blessed.
Well, you know what, Coach, you mentioned authenticity and being authentic and being yourself and not changing who you were because you only know how to be you, and that's what was so magnetic to me, is that your passion and your purpose oozed out of you, and that energy was infectious. And anybody who was fortunate enough to be around you and to be impacted with your knowledge and with your will and energy, man, how lucky were they? And I know you're very humble with who your character is, but Coach, that's just how it is, man. And it was fun to watch you from afar. I've been a fan for a long time. So just to have you share this knowledge and you to keep it real, because like you say, there's players know fluff and they know bullshit, and it's not going to work. You got to be real and who you are at all times.
1,000% agree. And the cool thing is, as I profess, like I look at the field of strength conditioning and performance now, it keeps evolving. These guys are so unbelievably intelligent. I work for such an amazing organization. I honestly believe in my heart that basketball players are the freaking best athletes on the planet. Now, people are going to say, "Oh, MMA," or these are just my beliefs. Their ability to start, stop, jump, move, and take impact, give impact, then fine motor skills. It just geeks me. And I'm watching the cool thing about it, I'm 54 years young, but I continuously evolve. And the amount of cool stuff I learn daily, even around my staff here, but just watching what these unbelievable athletes can accomplish and what amazing job the coaches do. And a lot of times I just want to go to the coaches and I'm saying, my dudes, ladies, whoever you are, stay the course. Don't be swayed. You are the specialists. Don't lose who you are by feeling like you have to do it another way. Lock into your way. You got so much. It's like the unbelievable great players. I remember AI would go in for a layup, he'd get blocked. By the third time, I'm like, my God, he's like, yo, Hess, shut the F up. I'm out there, you're sitting on the bench. He'll go make his shot, come back. That's all I saw. And it's a belief system. So if you're in this field, if you're a coach, strength coach, sports science, lock into your knowledge base and help this whole thing expand.
Oh, I love it. And you mentioned 54 years young. You and I are in the same mold. And matter of fact, when I promoted this show, there was a former NBA referee says, "Man, you guys are so much alike." And man, to have my name linked to yours and your energy, well, what high honor. You talked about, start, stop, those quick twitch muscles, which are so important within basketball. What do you feel are some of the strengths? Let's say there's a high school coach around the country who's watching right now. What should they be doing for their young athlete at the high school age? Is it their core? Is it their legs? Is it stretching? Tell me what Coach Hess believes is important and vital as a foundation for these young athletes to grow and evolve to be the best version of themselves.
Simple. Don't get enamored by the high flying dunks and explosive power. Base everything on a foundation that is based in strength. So I'm saying you should be bilaterally strong before you do any unilateral work. You should make sure you're stable before you introduce instability. You better make sure your nutrition is locked in. You better make sure you're hydrated. You better make sure you know how to recover. You better make sure you are training these kids sports appropriately. So if they are a basketball player, I don't know if I would have a 7-hour practice and at the end of practice run sprints. Be specific, be precise. If you have, I've got 2 unbelievable high school kids, 7 feet, man, 16 years old, unbelievable dudes. But I'm not trying to pack 30 pounds on them in 3 weeks. Allow their bodies to slowly adjust. Don't shock their bodies. Introduce weight training progressively. Introduce everything progressively. And the final thing, this is the most important, because I'm the worst. So we don't see our athletes the whole off season. Then we see them, we get so excited, we smash them on the first day and create so much damage. We then got to spend 2 months fixing what we broke. Calm your shit down. Understand that their bodies, be smart, be very, very sensitive to what it is they need. And then understand this. There is absolutely, unequivocally, no, you cannot do anything to outwork hard work. That is the foundation. Now, when I say hard work, smart hard work, how you sleep, how you recover, how you integrate your nutrients, your macros, your micros. How do you play? When you're playing, are you taking 600 shitty shots or you locked in? Lock in, do it appropriately. And when you're in the game or you're specifically doing basketball specific things, do it the way you want the outcome to look.
Man, Coach, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Coach Steve Hess, who just dropped so many nuggets of gold on you, and you're preaching to the choir here. But when you're talking like bilateral movement, break that down for those who aren't as knowledgeable or have the same terminology. Break that down to aerobic, anaerobic, because you talked about recovery, you talked about nutrition, and we can break down those segments 15 minutes or more. But talk to those coaches out there who need to help those players get their ball handling mastery, to get their passing mastery, to use those quick twitch muscles, to start, stop anaerobically, plyometrics, all those things. Talk about each of those little things, and I'm going to give you the time that you need, because these coaches need to learn this so that they don't damage and don't have time to recover with their bodies.
Okay, simply said, do a double leg squat before you do a single leg pistol squat. RDL with dumbbells, do a double leg RDL before you start doing single leg RDLs. When it comes to the specifics of how someone benches, if they have long appendages, I didn't say if they're tall or if they're short. If their appendages are different, you may want to integrate bilateral 2 dumbbells instead of a bar. It allows freedom and allows your ability to stabilize those dumbbells. That isn't a perfect exercise. Before you do compound exercises, which means, let's say a clean or a snatch, make sure they're proficient in its parts. My most important thing for basketball players is a foundation of strength. Has to be that. Then you have to have an aerobic core foundation so you can go 48 minutes, but you have to be anaerobically trained so you can do your spurts. Understand that. I once timed Kevin Garnett in a 48-minute game. How long do you think he flat out sprinted for?
Oh, wow. And I'm sure length of the court, 94 feet within a 48-minute game. Let's say he played 40 minutes. He probably ran 5 miles, if not more.
But how long did he sprint? Flat out sprint. How long do you think he did that for? Flat out sprint.
In those short bursts, 4 or 5 seconds at a time?
Yep. Total that I estimated that game on that night was 47 seconds.
Wow.
47 seconds. Now, it's not a playoff game. We were the Nuggets playing Minnesota. It was that. But all I'm saying is we don't flat out sprint for 48 minutes.
That's right.
But if you can't change directions, if you can't accelerate, if you can't do retro running, if you can't do side running, you're at a disadvantage. So how do you do that? You create a basic foundation of strength. Then you go to your mechanics. You work on acceleration. You work on deceleration. You work on jumping mechanics. You better know how to land before you jump. You better know how to decelerate before you accelerate. Because if you're going 700 miles an hour, you don't know how to stop, I'm just give you a fake, it's a wrap. So you take your strength, basic strength, and once you get proficient at bilateral, more simple moves, introduce multifunctional movements.
Wow.
You can introduce unilateral movements. You can utilize some balance as long as there's thought behind it. Understand if you're utilizing a posterior chain tie-in, which simply means get the whole back to work together to explode. Then you take your strength components, you put it into mechanics. How do I come off the line quick? Look at sprinters, look at football players. They do an amazing job. Get your mechanics down. How do I stop on a dive? How do I guard someone who's sliding, but I don't slide? I side run. These are concepts. If you use your intelligence, because again, we fall into the same thing. Everyone says get big, huge. I don't believe that. You lose your ability to be athletic. If you stay athletic, you are multi-directional. If you can run, jump, land, and you're strong, and you can play for 48 minutes, plus you know how to burst and roll into anaerobic, that's what makes great basketball players. The thing is, you have to have an amazing change in direction and speed. You have to have an overall cardiovascular system that can tolerate the shit. Then you got to be tough, strong, and explosive. And it's not the first jump. So you got a 44-inch Sergeant Vert. My dude, I want to see your second, your third jump. How do you respond? These are the things we don't look at. Oh, my dude, 44-inch Vert can run the 3/4. What I'm saying is you look at all of that and you work on the parts. Now, here's the thing. You don't just work on the shit you're good at. You work on the stuff you're not good at to become good at it. But remembering, the body is a system that you don't want to overtrain. So how you work it is tied into your nutrition, your sleep, your periodization, and your basketball practices. The final thing here you better understand. The most important thing you can ever do as a basketball player is play basketball. Because if you think you can do all the speed, agility, strength, nutrition, and not hoop, good luck.
Coach, I love that, because what I hear from you is that attention to detail, and you break it down scientifically to allow that body's to perform at its peak. And when you're training these guys, I mean, you've got it broke down so specifically for these guys so they can focus and allow their body to allow them to read their body, listen to their body. But I love what you talked about with strength and nutrition. The carbs that you need, staying away from the sugars. Let's talk about diet and nutrition of these high performance athletes and what their body will perform best under certain situations.
Okay, so it's a brilliant concept. We have to understand macronutrients. Macros, your carbs, fats, and proteins. So I'll tell you that the thing that gets the worst reps is fat. So if fat has 9 calories per gram and carbs and protein have 4, it has double the amount of energy of carb or protein. So if your body learns to utilize good fats appropriately, it's an amazing energy source. When you eat your carbohydrates are imperative. You want carbohydrates lower on the glycemic index so it doesn't spike your insulin levels, except right after practice. Your proteins are imperative in order for you to put on muscle. And this is where people get confused. If you don't have sufficient amino acids, your body's going to break down. You have to have it, not necessarily just put on muscle, but it's a similar system is what occurs when you have to recover. So if you're able to stimulate your ability to utilize your macros appropriately, I would definitely have a mixture of fats, carbs, and proteins. So for example, post-game, I may have salmon over brown rice with some really nice vegetables and a salad. Prior to a game, I would probably have maybe white rice, yams, or sweet potatoes. I would eat clean chicken breast if tolerable, or just things like that. I would always prepare my meals. So when I was with the Nuggets, 21 years, I'd have coolers packed. I go to China, I'm taking food to China, because if you don't have your food pre-prepared, you won't do it. You arrive in Milwaukee, 4 a.m, what are you going to do? The problem is when you start eating junk food, and the worst thing you can do, the absolute worst, is sugar. So how do you eat appropriately? You balance your carbs, proteins, and fats, and you use them to enhance your energy. So for example, you utilize your carbohydrates prior to a game, immediately afterwards, And then as you progress, you can eat more of your proteins in the evening if you can digest it. Some of your fats. Have to have your vegetables, have to have your fruits. That doesn't mean 4 fruit shakes because of the sugar content. And again, then you have to determine what you as an individual can utilize. So what makes, you see, what it is, we're just going to listen to a dietitian, or we're not going to get our blood work done. Get your blood work done. Then pay attention to what you're eating. If you eat yams and chicken and it energizes you, brilliant. If it doesn't, you're doing right, but we don't want to pay attention. Oatmeal, just there's so many wonderful things you do, but you have to take responsibility. We all want the answer. There is no answer. You have to utilize all the macros. How and when is dependent on what you need. Are you a 12% basketball player or a 3% basketball player? Are you yoking? I said from day one, my dudes, he does not have to be at 4%. The guy is unbelievable. He goes at a different pace. He is in great shape. He is strong, but he doesn't look like it. He's not Robert Pack or Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson walked through the weight room, put on 8 pounds of muscle. He's a genetic freak. They're just built differently. These are different players. They eat differently. They utilize calories differently, but they have more fast twitch muscle, more slow twitch. You have to determine what it is you need, why you need it, and then lock in and understand how it makes you feel. One thing you should not do, raw sugar. Just don't. And don't drink alcohol. Just don't.
Because that raw sugar breaks down all the muscle fibers that are trying to recover. Is that correct?
Not directly. What ends up happening is if sugar becomes very easily utilized, raises your insulin levels, then your uptake of nutrients into the cell is messed up. Your whole ability to utilize appropriate fuel is messed up. It's just bad. It's like sugar is the worst shit you can ever have.
Right. And you mentioned alcohol as well. What does alcohol do to the body? I'm sure it slows down recovery. It slows down your reaction times. Tell us about the negative effects of alcohol for those out there who think it's cool to go have a drink with their buddies. When they're working so hard to train, they're undoing everything that they just did.
You are a basketball player. Depending on how far you go, you have a shelf life of 12 years. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. Also lowers testosterone. Also, alcohol is utilized quickly by the body, so you don't utilize other calories. It absolutely diminishes your electrolytes. All I'm saying to you is, if you're gonna drink, brilliant. Do it when you retire, because I'm telling you, there are 23,000 other dudes and ladies who are coming after you, and they're not drinking. Now, let me ask you, this is a logical question. When's the last time you went out, had a few drinks, woke up at 4 a.m, ready to go?
I'm not a drinker, but I know it could never happen.
Oh, I just don't drink now because I don't want to feel shit for 3 days. Hell no. I'm not a professional athlete. What I'm saying is, if you're looking to go play Division I, you better get everything right, because there is so much talent. That's what amazes me. I'll go to like these little dudes watching play, and I'm watching parents going crazy, and I'm like, let them have fun, my guys. This may be it. But I'm saying, if you're watching the show, you want to go to the next level, that's brilliant. You have to be tactful and tactical in every single thing you do.
Yeah.
Don't do alcohol. I'm just, there's no reason to.
See, I love that, because that's just honesty and real. It's so competitive at each level that you go. And if you're competing for a scholarship, or you're competing for a spot on the team, or you're competing for a starting spot, you better take care of your body and allow your body to function for you at a high level. So I love hearing that. You also mentioned a few minutes ago the amino acids, which are the protein building blocks. Talk about the importance of the amino acids and what that does for your body.
So these questions are awesome. Simply said, your body can't produce all the amino acids that you need. So a lot of times you have to get amino acids from your food. There's a product, and again, I'm not endorsing it, but Human Pro is a great supplement you can take to increase your ability, give you a better chance of always having the aminos. the quality of food is not always great. We can't always get the amino acids that we need. You have to have certain amino acids to build muscle. What I'm saying to you is, now amino acids are indirectly used as fuel. Again, if you run out of carbohydrates or ATP, which is immediate energy, these systems all work together. What you want to be careful of as a basketball player, it's a lot of time on your feet. You don't want to go catabolic where you're depleted. You want to stay repleted through the appropriate nutrients. So another brilliant reason why you want to eat appropriately so you can eat again. When you have a Big Mac, fries, and a milkshake, you can't eat for 6 hours and you can't utilize the nutrients. As an athlete, you have to give your body the opportunity to utilize the nutrients. So you want to eat 5 to 6 balanced meals per day. You want to understand what aminos you're getting from your meals. And if you're not getting enough, you need to take a supplement. I'm a huge believer in that. And then people say, no, we can get it all from food. Good luck, because a lot of the times you're going to play tournaments all day. You're not going to eat enough calories. So you may have to supplement. You have to be smart about how you use it, because if you take the wrong supplement, firstly, you just got to be smart. Again, this goes to pre-workouts. A lot of times basketball players are so fatigued, we'll take a pre-workout. All right, now you got 700 milligrams of caffeine, taurine. Be careful, because you could dehydrate. There are a lot of factors. Research everything and understand you have to get ready for a contest a week before, a day before, 3 days. You can't just be like, should I increase my? No, drink more water. Make sure you can hold your water by eating carbohydrates. Because if you don't have carbohydrates, can't hold the water anyway. So what I'm saying to you, you have to do it all. So should I just take aminos? No. It's like maybe me, because I want to look great, but I don't want to jump and run. But if you want to be a well-oiled machine, you have to make sure you are eating with the object is fuel, nutrient density. I need proteins, fats, carbs, the best source I can get with no garbage.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Coach Hess. He's 54 years young, high energy. He produces outcomes, but look at his body. He is a walking testament to what he believes. Now, I know you're being humble here, Coach, but man, you live what you preach, and look at your body and look at the results you're getting for yourself. And that's how you can also lead others, because you're telling them, look, this is working for me. I can help you get to where you want to be, but let's have sustainability. Let's not have peaks and valleys. Let's not have the sugars. Let's not have shitty eating habits. Take care of your body, input, output, sustainability, longevity. That's what I'm talking about right now.
Coach, look, Coach Structure 1,000. I've been with my guys who went vegan during the season, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, okay, you better make sure you're getting all your aminos. You better make sure you're getting enough calories. By week 2, my man, it's like, Steve, even my wrists hurt because you're anemic, my guy. When we did the blood work, you're anemic. So what I'm saying, it's the same as like, I'll wait till camp, then I'm going to lose 30 pounds. Good luck, my guy. Ooh. You have to do everything so brilliantly smart. And here's why. You have chosen a sport that is so unbelievably hard to succeed in. You want every angle, because I promise you, there is some 7'2" dude with handles, a 40-inch vert, and can shoot the tray. He's coming after you. So if you're messing around, you got no shot. And here's the other thing too. I said it to my youngest son. My high pitch is playing it to you. That's my dog. But I said from day one, you've chosen a sport. That's my point. It's unbelievably hard to succeed. But if you got any chance, do everything right.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Hey, Coach, kaboom. I'm going to keep saying that because you're dropping so much knowledge and experience and expertise for our viewers. If they are not inspired or they're not motivated to research and do what's best for their bodies so they can have peak performance at the right time, shame on them, because right now we're giving them every tool we can with your knowledge. So I can't thank you enough for being so selfless. Let's talk about the importance of hydration. Talk about how much water intake they should have before their workout, and what's good recovery with rehydration after a hard post-workout?
Or I'll give you a perfect analogy, not my analogy. And again, the brilliant thing about this universe is I'm learning all the time. So see, here's the analogy. You're in a drought and there's this huge thunderstorm that just floods everything. Then it's gone. Or there's slow consecutive rain that creates hydration. Don't ask me what you should drink pre or post. Be hydrating the whole time. So logically out there, if you go drink a gallon of water, brilliant. You're going to be in the restroom the whole freaking day. The first thing you do, these are simple lessons. Wake up in the morning, 12 ounces of water by your bed. I'm going to improve your performance right here. Wake up, drink the 12 ounces of water before you do anything. Before you go to the bathroom, before you scratch your nose, drink the 12 ounces of water. Then tactfully, according to where you are at, get that amount of water in your water bottle that you carry with you, and you mark off how much you should sip. Once you have it on lock and you do that for 3 weeks, because 3 weeks, 21 days becomes habit. Lock into that the entire time. Now, prior to games, you'll drink a little more. If you've got a lot of minutes, you may have to balance your electrolytes. Again, I'm not going to go into that. I'm just simply saying hydration. Now, here's the kicker. How many of you dudes have heard of this diet, took out all the carbohydrates, lost 10 pounds in a week? It's because when you're eating proteins, you don't hold as much water as when you're eating carbohydrates. So a lot of that weight, you just lost water. So if you don't eat appropriate carbohydrates, you will not be able to run, but you won't be able to hold water. So while you suck, because you're going to utilize ATP immediately, then again, you may go into your protein utilization, you're going to cramp up because you can't hold water. Then you're going to tweak a muscle, then you're out. Yep. So what I'm telling you is keep drinking, and then as you play, drink more or less, balance your electrolytes, be intelligent. So if you didn't drink all day, 10 minutes before a game, you're going to drink a gallon of water, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're just going to bog yourself down.
Terrible.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
No, I love what you're saying, because if you just bog yourself down and you're waterlogged, your body's going to sit there and try to absorb that water, and it's just sitting in your gut and in your bladder, and you're going to feel heavy. But talking about, I love that rain analogy, because if you can stay hydrated, it's going to cleanse and detoxify you from other things that are going on within your body just by staying constantly hydrated, correct?
Large percentage of your body is water. So if you're staying hydrated, cellular activity works better. Muscles respond better. You feel better. A lot of times, and listen, a perfect example, we took our dog. We got a little dog. My wife runs 9 miles. And one day she's like, oh, he's faking it. He can't pee. Comes up, lays on the ground. I'm like, sweetheart, he's dehydrated. Can't think properly. He slept the whole day. My guys, you're going into a tournament. You're going to play 5 games in 3 days. You're so hungry at the end of games, you go to your restaurant and you like pizza, hot dog. Why? Go in there, chicken breast. Let me get a baked potato. Let me eat that. Let me take another one, so if I get hungry, I can eat that at night. Wake up in the hotel. Let me get some oatmeal, whole egg, 3 egg whites. Be intelligent. Your body is your machine. If you want to eat that way, don't be an athlete.
Yeah.
Okay. If you lock into this, even if you don't make it, you're going to be in unbelievable shape. You're going to feel good, and you're going to be able to take on the whole world. So that the side effect of doing it right will affect your whole world positively.
Mentally, physically, spiritually, you're going to feel good, trigger the dopamine, the endorphins, allow your body to work. Coach, this is gold. I love the things that you're sharing with our viewers and these athletes around the globe right now. We got to share this content because, again, the knowledge that you are sharing is next level, and I can't thank you enough for that. Talk to me, because you and we're always growing, we're always learning, we're always evolving. Tell me some of the things that you learned by working with some of the athletes on the Denver Nuggets for all those years. What did you take from them as far as their focus, their work ethic, their discipline? So, I mean, just kind of share with them, share some stories.
I'll give you plenty of stories. The first story is I'm on a bus with Earl Boykins. I'm like, oh, when did you know? Earl says to me, Steve, at the age of 6, I started running track and field because I knew I'd play in the NBA. And I'm looking at my boy, 5'5", 133 pounds, and I'm like, you are next level. I am in the locker room with AI and Melo when we were playing Utah. So I call over to Melo because I go to stretching. Yo, franchise, come over here. AI says to me, really, my guy? He gonna win the game alone? I'm like, no, it's a team effort. I'm with Kmart, coming back from 2 microfracture surgeries, comes in, freaking dominates it. I'm with Nikola Jokic, and here's the thing, understand this, how you do one thing is how you do everything. We are playing paintball at Jameer Nelson, he's holding this cam, Wilson Chandler, and Joker on my team, yo, we smashed him. Joker was an assassin. This dude was a stone cold killer. Never got shot, was unbelievable. I called up Tim Connolly, I'm like, my God, this dude is gonna be a perennial all-star. Tim's like, yo, did he kill it on the court? I'm like, hell no. You should have seen him playing paintball. It's just like Melo throwing up, comes in and gets us a playoff win. It's just the most. Allen Iverson breaks his finger. Next day, plays, kills it. Nick Van Exel tears his fascia. 2 days later, he's playing. Andre, toughness, mental toughness. So here's what I got out of it. Firstly, no one gives a shit. That's the first thing I got out of it. Secondly, they have an intrinsic belief. An intrinsic belief. That is my thing. You have to believe. And here's the other thing, which is hard for people to understand, but it's amazing. It's not giving an F. So some of the superstars that I worked with, Melo being one of them, didn't give an F. And he told me that it wasn't a bad thing. It was like, I control what I control, and I don't give an F about other opinions. It's not a disrespect thing. It's like you have to listen to the people you need to listen to. But if you're going to go into the sport, and I've learned that with life, you have to be resilient. You have to go in, and the biggest lesson I've learned through belief, create the entity that you're trying to get out there, and then learn while you're going, but you can't get swayed. It's your entity. And that's what I learned from these dudes. They put it, boom, boom. I'm a grown man. I got this. And it taught me so much because that's intrinsic. They are warriors out there. And again, like people, they make this and make that. Yeah, 8 billion dudes and ladies on the planet, and they're 370 NBA basketball players. I'm like, I'm just blessed to be around them. And then the stuff they do, I'm like in awe. How is that even physically possible? J.R. Smith can jump over 4 guys. I'm just like, it's unbelievable. And that is a belief. It's an intrinsic belief. And that's where everything stems from. If you don't believe, if you don't think it, it cannot happen.
Coach, I love it. And because what I hear there is a laser-like focus and determination with competitive spirit, with a mindset to block out all the negativity, all the cynicism, all the haters. You ain't got time for that. You got to focus on you, knowing your value, knowing your worth, and believing in your process. Work with these athletes where they're at, not where they're going to be, but where they're at, and take them through the process. Crawl before you walk, walk before you run. Next thing you know, you can be a 1%er and be an elite athlete and be a role model by your actions on and off the court daily, by your decisions that you make, by what you put into your body, how you take care of your body, and what you expect of your body. Correct me if I'm wrong.
100%. And here's one more thing. It's not just your body. The big dog, that controls everything. So who you surround yourself with, what you read, what you study, you are in absolute control. So what I am telling you, the path you have chosen is unbelievably difficult, but unbelievably doable if you do everything right. Now, if you think you can do it without work, no shot. The worst thing I saw, because I've been with young kids, when kids are over talented, when they're young, they don't create resilience. They think it just comes to them. It's those dudes who grind through it. Those are my dudes. The dudes who should be destroyed and are still standing, those are my dudes. So don't give up. Create resilience and then believe. And then you understand you are controlling your own destiny. In the realm of just out of coaching, I had one of the guys I work with now is a big time CEO. This dude is amazing. He's just a good, smart dude. He said to me, you know what? When I was growing up, my father made me play tactical games, Monopoly, chess. I'm looking at the dude. He would like, oh, all of these games, my guy. He would make me play poker. I'm like, why? He said, so I could outthink other people when it came to deals. 45 years old, net worth 150 million. Here, my guy, it's here, but he doesn't stop. If I'm working with him, I'm going to be like, my guy, stop thinking. But this is with my players in basketball. They are so locked in. They're learning, but they have a goal. If you're not part of my goal, you're out.
Yeah, I see. I love that because you got to have a strong support system to be honest with you, to tell you sometimes what you don't want to hear, to help you get over and make stupid mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. We're all human, but you can't repeat those mistakes, and get a support system that's going to push you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. That's the real talk. There's no fluff in that, but you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable to challenge yourself to get better and evolve. Correct me again if I'm wrong.
So 100%. So I had a conversation with my son yesterday, talking about, I keep finding myself. And here's the thing. You are never wrong if you learn from it. I know it's cliched and it's a bubblegum wrapper, but if you do not repeat it and you learn from it, it creates resilience.
That's right.
If I want an oak tree, I want an old oak tree with thousands of those freaking, I don't want like a little. So when I'm interviewing people to come work for me now, and they've said, look, I've never really had to deal with anything that's tough. I'm like, I'm not hiring you. I'm not, there's no way. I want gnarly, been through it, standing and prepared to give 100%. And that's your 100. And how that looks. Create support. Create people around you that are smarter. Don't look to be comfortable. Don't look to be comfortable, because once you settle, it's a wrap.
And see, I so agree with that, because the disease of complacency, or being satisfied, once you're satisfied, or once you think you know it all, you're done. You cannot grow, you cannot evolve, you cannot get better and progress. So I love the things that you're sharing there. To talk about some of the things that you learned from some of the NBA head coaches and assistant coaches that you've been around, because there's so much knowledge out there. And let's do some information sharing here. Talk about some of the things you've learned from some of those coaches.
George Cole,
Oh,
unbelievable,
the
passionate
best.
about the game. So I listened to this dude, some of the shit he'd say to me, I was like, oh my God. But looking back on it, he would do some stuff. I mean, he would draw up plays and I'm like, no shot, genius. And here's why. He's absolute passion for the game. He looked at the intrinsic ins and out. He's a mastermind. I learned so much about that passion aspect. Tim Gergerich, that's my
Player development guru.
dog. Yo, we went on the road so many times. I mean, like Tim, like I remember one time distinctly, I brought a player in, I didn't tell the coaches, and it was a player tough to get in. And Tim came into my office, he's like, I got to talk to you. I thought he's going to hype me up. He's like, that's bullshit. We're all part of a team. We all get to know, we all get to work with him. And I'm like, that's my dog. I remember we're in Dallas working with Kenyon, and we're teaching him how to come out of a double team. Man, Kenyon took Gergs out. Man, Kenyon, again, that's my guy. He's looking at Gergs. I thought Gergs was dead. He like laying on the ground. Gergs like, no, I'm fine. Finish the 2-hour workout. Next day I look, whole leg, black and blue. That's gritty toughness. The dude is just amazing. John Welsh, unbelievable player development coach. Mike Malone, locked in. Some look at him and you're like, it's just like ginger. But I'm telling you, the dude is so unbelievably locked in. Some of the strength coaches, Arnie from Detroit, come up with concoctions, understood how the body works. I mean, there's so much stuff that I learned. It's a Messiah. I mean, this is a GM with swag and such a great presence. Stan Kroenke, unbelievable owner. This dude, we would train, he would go 12 weeks without a day off. He's a machine, just rolls out, and it's how he does everything. I swear, Scott, I'm gonna write a book. How you train is how you are. And I'm telling you, these dudes are that I've been around. I look at them and I'm like, you're amazing. I remember George Cole, like, okay, you're gonna start coming to the playoff meetings. I'm like, I don't know how they do it. And people don't understand that. Melvin Hunt, he taught me about having swag. It doesn't always have to be explosive. You can still have swag and be chill. It's an off pace. Just amazing stuff, man.
Oh man, nuggets.
Every day I'd like go in and be like, holy shit, new lesson. Holy shit, new lesson.
Love it. Hey, and even let's go one further. The guys behind the scenes. Look how hard your trainers work. Look how hard your mascots. Some of those mascots are unbelievable physical specimens who put wear and tear on their body every night to perform for the audience. Talk about some of the mascots and probably how you've helped mascots or what you learned from a mascot.
So firstly, the Nuggets got the best mascot. I can't say his name. The dude's still rolling out there. Unbelievable athletes. You know, you're talking at the auxiliary staff. I mean, you're looking at your PTs, your athletic trainers. They don't get days off. They just roll in. It's like, I didn't know what it was like to have a Saturday to recuperate. These guys, people think it's all glitz and it's all glamour. My people, we are out there loading the bus at 3 a.m. on a winter day. Well, you didn't, I understand all that. It's not what you think it is. Because people see snippets like commercials. They don't see the whole video. These dudes bust their ass. The preparation before the draft, the execs, the scouts, they are busting their ass 24/7. The GM, oh my gosh, the amount of shit they got to take. I'm like, yo, I'm cool doing my thing. But it's amazing, and people don't understand that. They're such amazing, hardworking people that I'm like so impressed by their outcomes, and they bust their ass.
Oh, it's so true. The grit, the grind, the unseen hours of preparation and think tank, just like you being so specific and detail oriented to break down the tiniest little detail to help someone on their mechanics on a lift so they don't injure themselves. The recovery process. We didn't dive a lot into that. Real quick, talk about the importance of recovery for these high level athletes.
So, you know, a new trendy word is active recovery. Big believer in active recovery. You know, like easier cardiovascular sessions, workouts in the pool, cryotherapy. You know, I don't know where the league stands on intravenous vitamins. Big believer in that. You know, the thing, there's a concept called MATRX, which I think gets muscle to fire. Believer of that. You know, you got to be tactful in the recovery you choose. And I do believe you should have black days where you're not doing anything. Those fall away because sometimes we're like, we got to keep working. We got to keep working. And again, I love my coaches. I'm like that hype guy. I've never had a coach come to me and say, hey, maybe he's exhausted. That's why his shots suck. It's always been he's out of shape or he's weak or things like that. A lot of times these guys are exhausted. And there's certain things like, do you get a B12 shot? You know, there are different things you can absolutely do. Do you get a day? Do you get 2 days off? What does your nutrition look like? What does your hydration look like? There are a lot of different things you got to factor in. But your recovery is important. And people are always looking, what's a magic pill? Is it contrast? Is it getting in a hyperbaric chamber? You got to work to see what works for you. But again, that NBA season, my dudes, 9 preseason games, 82 regular season, then the playoff, strap it on, because I don't care how much recovery you do, you better be a big boy or big strong lady, because man, it's going to be times, like I know when we had the lockout and we went back to back to back, we are playing New York and Gallo comes to me like, I'm like, I think I'm going to die. I think I'm going to fall asleep standing up. And I'm like, how do you do it? He's like, just the same as another day. And I'm just a belief system of doing what others can't in order to get what others won't. And it's a sacrifice. But recovery whenever you can, that's why. Don't drink, don't party. Whenever you have an opportunity to be grounded, meditate, chill out, replenish, that would be my best advice.
Oh, love that, coach. And it's so on point because think about it. You talked earlier, you know, the shelf life for an average player is 12 years. You got to have you want longevity to take care of your body because your body is your asset and your tool to bring in that income to provide for your family. Take care of your body so your body will take care of you. You want longevity, you must have the recovery. You got to listen to your body. And I'm sure you break it down to a cellular level, which is so minute. And that's something that I love because that's why you're one of the best, even though you won't say it. I'm telling our viewers now, this guy is the best of the best, and he's in tune and has rapport and the relationships and the trust from these high level performers who need high level outcomes. Coach, you are the best. Give us one more nugget before we sign off because you've already given us a gold mine. But share something else that you feel is important that we have not touched on, my brother.
Get up early. Kobe Bryant said it. Get up early. It gives you way more opportunities. Go to bed earlier. Get up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning. Lock in. It gives you so many opportunities to eat better, to work out better, to surround yourself with the people that are like-minded. Can't hang out all night because I got to take care of me. And the most amazing thing about this whole journey, if you are an athlete and you carry this through, you can live a life where you're effective, efficient, and a freaking rock star in everything you do because you're prepared to endure, be resilient. Get up early, drink lots of water, get your nutrition on lock, and surround yourself with your family and people you absolutely love.
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you what, my friend, uh, I'm learning from you as we sit across from each other right now. I'm honored, blessed, and humbled that you've taken your time with your servant leadership. You lead by example daily. You are a prime example of what you can accomplish if given the opportunity and stay focused and take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. My brother, I love you. I appreciate you. How can the viewers follow Coach Steve Hess and continue to learn and evolve from you?
Instagram, it's Steve13Hess. On Twitter, I think I'm Steve Hess1. Follow me on Facebook. As I say, the Instagram, nothing ever negative, just tidbits of the brilliant thing that's happening in my life. Again, it's snapshots. But again, just blessed to be on your show. And thank you so much for having me.
Hey, nothing but love, brother. All the best to you and your family. I would love to cross paths. I believe you're in Denver right now. I'm in Salt Lake City. We're close. Let's connect, brother, because I'm gonna tell you what, I just appreciate you and just a wealth of knowledge and your spirit is contagious and I hope everybody on the Coach Scott Field show right now is inspired and continues to learn. Please share this content because my brother, you dropped gold. So please, one time, give them that kaboom.
Ready for this? Kaboom!
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Steve Hess dropping the knowledge, sharing the wisdom, sharing the love, sharing the passion. It's his purpose to empower, and we are better for it. God bless you, Coach. Can't wait to cross paths with you soon, brother.
Thank you again, Coach.
Oh, man.